Hello, all of my YouTube friends. All I can say is wow. Personally, I think that The Penguin turns out to be one of the best, if not the best, series that we've seen in many, many years. Warning here, I am going to get into a couple of spoilers, so be warned. I really, really enjoyed this series. And let's get straight to the point here. I do like the fact that they showed and portrayed a villain as being a villain, not trying to get people to sympathize with him. Let's face it, the Penguin, Oswald, is a very despicable person. He is evil to the core, and even his mother knows it and calls him the devil. So, in this final episode of this season, they start off with a flashback, and I kind of wish that they didn't do that. I mean, if I had to nitpick about this episode, I would have put the flashback scene maybe a little bit later in the episode instead of starting off with it. Just because mainly it rehashes the next scene is kind of ruined by the fact that we have this flashback. Like, we discovered that the mother organized a scenario to get rid of her son, knowing that her son is responsible for killing her other two kids. And somehow she falls under the influence of Oswald. It's revealed in this episode how Oswald knows how to pull everybody's strings. And that no matter how much he's in love with his mother, he is ready to throw anybody and everybody underneath a bus for his own personal gain. And not only that, but he enjoys being as cruel as he can doing it. So even when his mother is threatened to have a finger chopped off, he is still blaming everybody else other than himself for what happens. In this episode, it's down to the final three or four. I mean, if you include Oswald's mother, the final four characters, the shogun between Sophia and Oz, and how Victor, I mean, man, this kid, it's so sad what happens to him in this episode. I mean, this guy had the chance to redo his life, had the chance to, leave the city, leave all of this crap behind, and try to make a new life with the girl that he loved. Instead, decided to stay loyal to Oswald. And in the end, even Oswald turns on him. I mean, I feel so bad for this kid. Throughout this series, you get behind this kid, you see everything that bad that's happened to him. Oswald comes out with these speeches and turns this kid around. And man, that the fate that this kid goes through in the end is so sad. I was not expecting it. This was a complete surprise. I I was left speechless. I was like, "Man, Oz is despicable to the bone." I mean, I have no sympathy for him. I kind of wish that Batman would go to town on this dude. Apparently, he's going to have a couple of appearances, a couple of scenes in the next Batman. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, coming back to Victor, I mean, knowing now what happens in the season finale, I'm really like, dude, you should have left with the girl. You should have just gotten out of there. Man, up until the very end, He was like Oz's right hand man, had all the right moves, had all the right insight. Man, he was starting to, really be up there having a head on his shoulders. He just put his trust in the wrong person there. It is. You see Oz going around making his plans. He wants to be, regarded in the high society, making deals with the congressmen and whatnot. And even what he does to Sophia at the end. Sophia puts, again, her faith in some people and it doesn't work out for her. And you see how Oz just has this smile in the corner of his mouth there. He is enjoying making everybody's lives as miserable as he can, as long as he takes joy in making everybody so miserable. And he could just have easily, put Sophia out of her misery. Sophia has had also, like Victor, a very hard life. She was dealt a hand that, she was trying to get out of her situation. She just wanted some payback for people that did her wrong. And Oz just goes to show how disturbed and demented this guy is. It is. Wow. So just when you think that Sophia's gonna meet her end, no, Oz has something even more cruel and ends up sending her back to jail. Which, crazy, crazy. It's so crazy. But she gets a letter, and from what I'm told, because, I follow the DC, but not so much. Everybody knows about Batman, but I don't know all of these alter ego personalities. But apparently, she receives a letter from the Catwoman. So, or Cat Girl, or whatever you want to call her. Yeah, so I hope that they're not setting up a season two. I hope this is going to play out in the movies. This season was so perfect. I I just hope that they don't decide to do another season, but let's face it, folks. After the success of this season, Hollywood gets addicted to money and are just going to throw money around to make another season of this. I just hope that the people behind this are as dedicated to a second season, and that if and when it does happen, that it's as good as the first one. It's hard to do. I know it's not. They're setting themselves up for a failure. Or, people are always going to compare it to the first season, which this season was just mind blowing. Every character's arc, everything. I like even how they finished it with the Batman signal. Yes, we could have seen, a couple of more clips in the news about Bruce Wayne, why he's not around, why Sophia and Oz and everybody else gets to do these turf wars without the Batman being involved in them. It would have been nice to have a couple of clips. Bruce is, out of town taking care of something. That's why, the show is allowed to do what the things that they're doing, get into a little bit more specifics. But I do like that here and there they are, drawing in the Batman into the series without him having a screen presence. So I don't know how you guys felt about this series and this episode. Man, I still can't get over Victor's demise. I mean, I'm sad. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Hopefully you like, share, and subscribe. It would really help out my little channel. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.